Oh, great.
panelists.
Awesome. Okay.
Don't combine them.
Oh, no.
because
Yeah, I'm
they're two different.
split them up here. Yeah. Miss Emma, you get Mary Ann? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Yes. I guess I wanted, first of all, let me introduce myself, Rodney Cohen, and Rodney T. Cohen, that's correct. And a little interesting thing about that T is, and I'm gonna give you a little trivia question. I have the same middle name as the great educator Booker T. Washington. So if you know what his middle name is, Taliaferro. That is correct. And I have the distinct honor to work with the University of Utah in the capacity of helping with our strategic partnerships with historically black colleges and universities, better known as HBCUs, which have been around since the 1830s, 1850s. So we're privileged to, if you will, lead the way, particularly for R1 institution in that capacity. So we're excited today to kick off the Day of Collective Action, which is a presidential initiative that's been in existence for a couple of years. And today we have a very robust schedule. And you all can access the schedule on your phone at Day of Collective Action. But we have two dynamic panels today, along with the keynote speaker, Marybeth Gasman, who's joining us from Rutgers University, who I call the HBCU whisperer. And yes, we go way back when I was a lowly graduate student trying to do stuff on HBCUs, and decided to do a couple of writings as well, not to the level of Mary Beth, but actually I think a couple of my books out there, along with Mary Beth's, who are scattered throughout here on HBCU. So we're pleased to participate in this Day of Collective Action. There was an initiative, again, by President Randall, who I want to thank, again, for allowing me this opportunity, not only to work with HBCUs, but also to help work with the Day of Collective Action. We had a robust committee, some of our committee members up here. If you could stand up real quickly, I know Ms. Emma's over here, who's our co-chair, and a few others, but we're excited about that. So next, what I'd like to do is bring up our Vice President, Mary Ann Villarreal, and bring the official welcome from her and also President Randall.
Good morning, friends. All right, let's pep up. Good morning, friends. All right, great. It's gonna be a wonderful day. It's gonna be a great day. I just loved walking into this room. One, I want to thank our librarian friends and Allison Maurer on the books that we have over here relating to tribal colleges, HBCUs, minority serving institutions, and the support that we get from the scholarship. And the scholarship in the library. And then to see these signs of all of our members of our communities who are graduates of HBCUs, and thank you. And I've had the opportunity to work with many presidents from these HBCUs. So it's David Wilson, one of them, Michael Sorrell, right? Just the possibilities and that they always bring of both deep joy and opportunity in working with our HBCU partners. I want to say welcome. Welcome to the University of Utah's third annual Day of Collective Action, a day dedicated to the theme of building bridges of talent and excellence. Today, we come together to celebrate the power of partnerships in higher education with a special focus on historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and minority-serving institutions, MSIs, also as HSIs or ANAPESIs, and tribal colleges and universities. The Day of Collective Action is designed to offer the University of Utah's campus community an opportunity to learn, reflect, and find ways that each of us can build bridges of understanding that aid in growing a sense of belonging for all members of the U Collective. DoCA, as we like to call it, is a presidential initiative launched by the Presidential Commission on Equity and Belonging. As we think about partnerships, I want to remind us that they are not just about collaboration. They are not just about inviting people to a good idea, but they are about unlocking the full potential of every individual and institution involved, and that these partnerships bring immense value to all parties involved, fostering innovation, promoting diversity, and creating pathways for success. So as we embark on today's journey, a journey that we have been on this Day of Collective Action, let us recognize the transformative impact that strategic alliances can have in shaping the future of education and society at large. I'm not going to say very much about our partnerships today. Much will be said throughout the day. But what I do want to say is that we have such incredible people and talent leading our partnerships and our impact, and that we understand that HBCUs have long been at the forefront of promoting access and inclusion in higher education, that they have served and continue to serve as beacons of hope, providing opportunities for individuals. Today, HBCUs continue to play a vital role in shaping the American economy by contributing significant talents, as we are the receivers of that talent at the University of Utah across areas of human endeavor. I could say so much more, but a welcome is meant to be short, so I will stop there. And I want to say thank you to President Randall for his continued commitment in this third annual, for the work that we can do together, for bringing us together and building one more brick across a long road of work that we all have ahead of us. I want to thank Simone Lawrence, Rodney Cohen, Miss Emma Houston for their everyday work in building partnerships, bringing our corporate partners to the table, being out across the nation, carrying the work of the University of Utah to strengthen who we are with all of you. To our community members who are here today, thank you for taking the day, for being with us. I know you're a graduate there, yep, so I see Morris Brown. So thank you for being with us. And there is much excitement and so much fun to be had today. Have fun, be engaged, and thank you for being with us.
Can we just have a round of applause for the energy that Mary Ann Villarreal brings every day? It's so great to see every one of you this morning. This is our third day of collective action, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the evolution of this event. It's a very important one on campus. Our first one 3 years ago was actually a day before my inauguration. I remember it well. We were processing the death of our two black football players, Aaron Lowe and Ty Jordan, the gun violence and the recent bomb threat to our Black Cultural Center. And we felt that it was really, really important for our campus to pause and think about what communities do in tough moments like that. Fortunately, right, not every year is a tough moment, and often we have time to celebrate. Our next one was actually focused on our goal of becoming an Hispanic serving institution. It was great to hear our guests and try to understand, right, that what changes we needed to make as an institution to prepare to see a large proportion of our students that come from that incredible community. Today, we're going to be focusing on our partnerships with historically black colleges. And I'm going to I want to give you a little bit of my background with this initiative because this has been one that, to be quite honestly, in my entire career is perhaps one of the most rewarding partnerships I've ever had a chance to be a part of. But before I get into the depth of that, can I just make some thank yous? First of all, Marianne Villarreal and Lori McDonald, particularly leading this Presidential Commission on Equity and Belonging. And may I simply say, it probably goes without saying how difficult it has been for our DEI division over the last 6-7 months. And you have led with grace, you have led with positivity, and if we all do that in this world, these problems that we often see of conflict will evolve quickly into just pure positivity. So thank you, Marianne, for all of that. There are a number of our committee members here today: Tricia Sugiyami, Tiffany Bafour, Amy Fulton, Allison Maurer, Samantha Eldridge, Megan Medina, Pamela Bishop, Miko Nielsen, Portia Anderson, Pamela Capas-Toro, Donna Ray Eldridge, Jason Lee, Alexis Matthews, and Azra Helm, and in particularly to Rodney Cohen and Emma Houston, these year's chairs. Thank you very, very much. We will have the privilege of hearing from Marybeth Gasman. Thank you for traveling all the way from Rutgers, New Jersey, and she lives in Philly, my second hometown, so it was fun to talk about Philly a little bit, and of course, thanks to all of you. Maybe I can give you a little bit of insight now into where this HBCU partnership started. I was approached when I was dean of the business school by Aaron Sconard, who is the CEO of Pluralsight, one of the tech companies here in town. And we were talking about how we could participate with Pluralsight in just a partnership with their company. And he mentioned that a board member, Arnie Duncan, former head of education for the United States, Secretary of Education, was on his board and had expressed an interest in making sure that the workforce of Pluralsight, particularly with its technology and education platforms, was thinking about diversity in important ways. And he mentioned to me that they had been trying to approach Hispanic-serving institutions and HBCUs to try to recruit students to Pluralsight, and they were doing it with very little success. I said, you know, why don't we take a visit to one of these HBCUs and try to understand how we could do this better. And we went to visit Howard University, where I met one of my dear friends in my profession, Dr. Wayne Frederick. And over 2 or 3 visits, Dr. Frederick explained, you know, how HBCUs work, their importance in society, and particularly to the education of the Black diaspora. We didn't get to make it the second year, but he invited me to homecoming at Howard, and he said, "You're not going to get a hotel room in the entire city," but he said, "Would love to have you come." But I think one of the deep things I learned was the importance of building a community, particularly where a community did not exist. And so what we decided to do is, rather than just have Pluralsight go and recruit, that the University of Utah would be a center for all companies in Utah that wanted to diversify their workforce, and that the University of Utah would be actually the place where the community was built during those summer internships. And so Simone Lawrence, who is here, was one of those. I think you were there the first year, is that right? Yes. She was the our number one recruit. And I just have to tell you, we were looking for pioneers. This is where Utah culture and HBCU culture collided. We had to explain what pioneer meant and what it meant to pioneer, you know, what it meant to pioneer in Utah. And we knew we needed special people that actually explain, you know, what they were experiencing and what wasn't going well and what was going to go well. But over time, right, we gained 15 to 20 corporate partners. But we also began to see across campus the many different outreaches that there were to not just Howard University, but the many, many HBCUs that exist. So if I were to go through the list today, our impact program is still going on with our employers here, and Simone leads that. But we also have REACH U2, a program at the intersection of health disparity and biomedical research. 5 for the Fight, a cancer research program in partnership with Howard University and Huntsman Cancer. USTARS, the Utah Summer Training Academy for Rising Surgeons. The Genomic Summer Research for Minorities. It's an undergraduate program for students interested in biosciences or bioinformatics with a focus on genomics research. All of those relationships began to we began to see them in very, I would say, beginning early stages. And that's when we decided we needed someone like Rodney to coordinate this entire effort. And Rodney's position was actually a first of its kind in the United States. And we're very excited to have him because he brings with him not only a knowledge of great scholars like Marybeth, but he also brings with him just an incredible network that's allowed us to move to other institutions as well. Dr. Frederick, we had him out here, and he paid our institution a compliment. He said, you know what, you listened. You listened that community needed to be built, and many of the people in this room actually spent time to do that. We reached out to our Black Chamber of Commerce and the incredible community that we have here in Utah. They wrap their arms around interns every summer. They help us build that community. And then Wayne Frederick said something particularly interesting to me, but don't make it too insular. The reason I want you to build this community is also so that they learn from what Utah has to bring. And so those were the 2 great lessons that I think I have learned from President Wayne Frederick. You build a community where people can feel a sense of belonging, but you also make sure that that community looks outward to goodness, looks outward to connection. And if we could capture that, right, as we move forward with all of our days of collective action, that we come here to celebrate specific initiatives and communities, but we do that so that those communities can look outward and they can actually interact with the other communities that we have on campus. So that though community by community we build, the attachment between communities is what makes us a remarkably diverse institution that celebrates each other and is able to give each other the support we need when each community has its moments of crisis. And today, it's just going to be wonderful to hear about this initiative, and hopefully you have ideas about how we can continue to grow this initiative. Anyway, thank you very, very much, all of you, for being here today.
I want to thank everyone for coming out, and also to our online audience as well. So this is an opportunity for you all to continue your fellowship conversation. And beginning at 10:30, we will have our first panel, which will be a panel discussing the state of health disparities and social determinants of health. At noon, we will have our featured speaker, Marybeth Gasman from Rutgers University, followed by a Q&A 101 by VP Mary Ann Villarreal, and we'll also be entertaining questions from the audience. Following that, we will be having a panel discussion from some of our HBCU alums who are faculty and staff members here at the university. And after that, we will have a robust roundtable discussion of many of our HBCU alums. As President Randall mentioned, one of the things people are not aware of are the number of HBCU alums that we have, not only in Salt Lake City, but here at the University of Utah making contributions. And as a result of that, we've been able to form what we call the HBCU Alumni Alliance in Salt Lake and begin to bring those people into the fold. Also, too, we've been making some headlines and some groundwork in really reaching out to some of the local high schools and educating high school students on opportunities at HBCUs. Of course, President Randall, we're not going to steal students away from the University of Utah. But with that being said, what we found is an uptick in some kids who, let's say, want to go to a Howard undergrad or want to go to Florida A&M, but want to come back to the University of Utah and do their graduate work. So it becomes a reciprocal type of relationship. as you know, Mary Beth, a lot of times these relationships go in one direction. But one of the things that President Randall and all of us have been conscious of is we want this to be a reciprocal relationship where, you know, our students can benefit from University of Utah and vice versa. So with that being said, thank you for coming to our opening, to the official kickoff of the Day of Collective Action. And we look forward to seeing you throughout the remainder of the day. Thank you. Mary Ann, say breakfast is served.